Dude, I remember like laying in bed. Like I remember when I stopped believing in God, man. Like fucking.
I thought my dad was gonna fucking kill my mom. So every night, dude, I would go to bed thinking like, oh shit, my mom's gonna die tonight, you know?
Like I had fucking, yeah, it's crazy shit, dude. Crazy shit, man.
Despite all odds in both his childhood and UFC career, Sean Strickland not only became a UFC champion, but did so as a massive underdog to one of the greatest martial artists of all time. His rise of popularity wasn't just because he's a funny guy or because he's a good fighter, but rather his brash style and just keeping it real to anybody he talks to about any topic, regardless of being a brand risk or facing criticism. Something very rare for a person with popularity like Sean Strickland, especially in the Western world today, because of it being a very socially progressive and sensitive place.
Are you a gay man?
I'm an ally of the community.
Okay. If you had a son and he was like, you had a son, he was gay, you'd be like, oh man, you don't want a grandkid?
No problem with it.
Oh man, well dude, you're a weak fucking man, dude. 10 years ago to be trans was a mental fucking illness. And now all of a sudden people like you have fucking weaseled your way into the world. You are an infection.
However, on the other side, many people can recognize Sean's intense personality and eager for sheer violence. Sean Strickland has said a few times that he has been diagnosed, or at least believes that he has antisocial personality disorder, which is another term for a sociopath. Sean's self-diagnosing of sociopathy is an interesting one and could possibly be true. Factors that would lead to someone being diagnosed with ASPD and being labeled as a sociopath would firstly be a lack of empathy, which Sean has shown on occasion. For example, a situation that he had really caught heat for was when he said something about the female fighter who had just passed away.
In an interview, he said something along the lines of, she was a amateur fighter, she had a crap record, she got beat by someone who was 1-1. If she didn't die, no one would know her name. Why, Sean, did you feel the need to make that comment?
But despite situations like this, Sean has shown empathy at other times, so I would say it's still undecided. Other things that would make people a sociopath would be, for example, someone who manipulates and deceives for their own benefit, impulsive and irresponsible behavior, as well as a lack of remorse or guilt. Sean has also gone on record multiple times stating how badly he would want to murder someone. He even said that he almost broke up with his girlfriend because she refused to help Sean cover up a hypothetical murder if he were to ever do it. He's also gone on to say he has fantasies of killing someone but in a legal way so he can know what it feels like to end someone's life but not be in prison for it. And in his appearance on the Joe Rogan podcast, he mentioned this fantasy about murder multiple times, with it being clear that Rogan was obviously thrown off and uncomfortable with the idea.
We're talking elementary school. Strapped a knife to his leg to go stab him. Jesus. Just like, fuck, I still want to kill somebody. It just would make me feel good, I fucking love it.
Sean would also share a story on this same podcast about the time he had a gun to a person's chest and was seconds away from pulling the trigger until the man's girlfriend started hysterically crying.
I grabbed the gun, just fucking start slamming his head to the wall. Boom, fucking falls down in the face. Take the shotgun, point at his head. I shit you not, dude. Right when I'm about to pull the trigger, his girlfriend jumps on top of him and starts crying and begging.
Oh my God.
So it's clear that Sean's brain isn't like everyone else's, and there's something deeper going on here. But in order to understand him, we gotta go back.
Summer nights can even turn cold. In the streets of Philly when niggas don't even get to turn old. My heart pumping to a turn gold.
February 27th, 1991, Anaheim, California. A woman would be giving birth to a boy who would one day have to endure a traumatizing and difficult childhood that would leave him scarred, hopeless, and destroyed.
School system's like, oh, Sean, he's just a bad kid. They don't realize him up till 3 o'clock in the morning. Late. Fuck, dude.
Sean Strickland would grow up with a trailer home in Corona, California. His father was a drug addict and alcoholic who regularly gave beatings to both Sean and his mother.
He's doing his forgiveness speech. He's like, Sean, I was really bad to you and your mom. At least I never molested you.
Oh boy.
I was like, fuck yeah,
what a low
dude.
Sean even recalls sometimes sleeping in the bed with his mom or even hiding under it because he thought his mom was going to die.
I used to sleep in my mom's bed a lot because I thought my dad was gonna fucking kill my mom. So every night, dude, I would go to bed thinking oh shit, my mom's gonna die tonight,
He also shared a time where he attacked his father when he was a little boy and even tried to talk his dad into suicide.
My dad's sitting there with my fucking brother's 45. He's like talking about killing himself. And I'm like, dude, Dad, like, dude, you should do it, man. Like, you should fucking do it.
In need of a male role model, Sean would get close and look up to his grandfather. The only problem being his grandpa was a hardcore Nazi and white supremacist. Not knowing any better and combined with no direction in life, Sean would adopt this identity of a superior race and would even show up to school with a swastika on his arm and get into fights all the time.
So that's why I was so white supremacist. Me being 12 years old, walking around doing the fucking Hail Hitler salute with a fucking swastika on my arm.
Of course, doing things like this, as well as just being a quiet kid in general, led to Sean not having too many friends. And childhoods like this are exactly what makes society's most dangerous men. For example, taking a look back at Adolf Hitler himself, we see that him and Sean had a very similar childhood of dealing with alcoholic fathers, as well as being neglected, lonely, and feeling lost in life. Hitler was actually beaten into a coma by his father, which he had just barely survived after he had tried to run away from home. Adolf did, however, develop a deep relationship with his mom and was heartbroken when she passed away. He carried a photo of his mother everywhere he went, including when he presumably died at the end of World War II when he was hiding out in a bunker with his girlfriend Ava Braun. And the only thing found when he committed suicide was some of his early paintings and the picture of his mother. It was also in his childhood where Hitler would develop his deep hatred for Jewish people, and he became very insecure because of the fact that his own father actually may have been Jewish. This resentment would cause Hitler to not even look at himself in the mirror, and he even described his nose as Jewy. And one of the first things he did when he got in power was bomb the village his father's birth certificate was held in order to hide the fact that he may have had any Jewish heritage at all. Hitler found purpose and meaning in first his art career, then anarchism, and then killing anyone he saw as unworthy and being in absolute control. A similar story would also be Joseph Stalin, who grew up with an abusive father that would beat him and his mother. Stalin would also form a strong relationship with his mom and grow up extremely paranoid and insecure, as he stood only 5'4" as a grown man and was constantly picked on and bullied. Stalin would go on to be infatuated with Marxism and being in complete power, and he would go on to also be responsible for millions of unjust killings. It wasn't until at 14 years old when Sean's mom would suggest that he join an MMA gym and start training. This event would single-handedly change Sean's life, and he would even go on to describe it as the first time he ever felt happiness in his life.
I remember I was about 14 years old, just kind of miserable, angry. I walked in the gym the first time, and then it was the first time in my life I've ever felt happiness.
Sean was obsessed from day one and would quickly rise to prominence as one of the best fighters around in the amateur scene and in his gym, and perhaps even changed the course of history, not just for his life, but for the world. Years of anger and resentment left Sean hopeless and without direction in life. But luckily for him, he found something that he loved and gave his life whole new meaning and purpose, something that told him that maybe his life was possible after all. We see what happens to people when they grow up like Sean and can't truly grasp onto something positive in their life. There's a reason that 85% of all children with behavioral disorders have either no father or an abusive father. There's not a lot of people like Sean Strickland out there, but he serves as a role model and hero to a lot of men who have also dealt with things in their life like Sean. And Sean Strickland is a reminder that no matter how bad things get, no matter how hard they seem, there's always a way. Guys, thank you for watching the video. Please subscribe to the channel and let me know if you want to see more psychological analysis like this in the future. Comment Nina and Sean so I can know who made it all the way to the end. Thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe. Have a great day.